Hello everybody, it's Racing TV here, and happy anniversary towards Mattel for 58 years of track madness. I believe there is 58 cars. This is another video just like Carboy0528's video. Please go check out that video. That was an amazing race. I know this video will not be out by then, but this is being recorded on May 18th, 2026, the 50th anniversary of Hot Wheels die casting. Started with the Sweet 16. Now we are over probably at least 1 million cars ever made, including licensed. So I believe there's 58 cars here. If there's not enough, then we'll add another fantasy car. So the only main reason why there is not a licensed vehicle in here, even though there was licensed ones that started along with it, I've done what is Hot Wheels mainly about. Fantasy. It's pretty standard. Later on in the late 90s, Mattel would get acquired Matchbox from Tyco, I believe, and they have owned Matchbox ever since. So happy anniversary to Mattel for the 58th anniversary for Hot Wheels. So this is going to be the 58th anniversary tournament. Congratulations. Let's begin. We will be starting off with Mid-Mill up against one of the most, probably the most popular Hot Wheel of all time, Bone Shaker by Larry Wood. Bone Shaker. Supercharged up against a 72 fire engine. 3, 2, 1. Supercharged. Teed off 2 up against the classic school bus. Teed off 2 with an epic comeback. Jackhammer up against one of with the recent show of Hot Wheels on Netflix, Street Shrieker. Street Shrieker. Sushi Turner up against Quick Bite. Sushi Turner coming in front. Monoracer up against Small Block. Small Block. Screamliner up against DR2. DR2. Quick Chap against the Barbie Dream Camper. And also, fun fact, besides the Barbie Dream van moving on, this was their original car, well, not their original car, but their original franchise made by Ruth Handler, I believe, inspired by their daughter. I don't remember what her name was, but it was inspired by the daughter of Elliot and Ruth Handler, daughter making dolls out of leftover scraps. Then they created Barbie, and then a couple years later they released Ken after their son. Twin Techs up against Mad Manga. No, that was Trek Manga. Sorry. Fun fact about Larry Wood, even though he made Turbine Time, he still made over 700 car designs for Mattel. Anyway, it is Turbine Time up against Street Creeper. I believe that was Turbine Time. 8 Cree up against Blade Raider. 3, 2, 1. Blade Raider eliminated, and 8 Crate moving on. Drift Ender up against Repew Duty. Drift Ender. Hot Wire up against Diesel Boy. Diesel Boy. Time Shifter up against Drift Box. 3, 2, 1. Drift Box. Roger Dodger up against Dior 3. Dior 3's moving on. Donut Drifter against Monoposto. Monoposto. Extreme up against Hotweiler. Extreme. Carbonator, one of my favorite diecast cars of all time, up against Solar Reflex. Solar Reflex. Flathead Fury up against Super Twin Mo. I believe that was Flathead Fury coming from behind. Cockney Cab up against the 1966 classic Batmobile T-Series. 3, 2, 1. And the tuned Batmobile is moving on. Alright, Quambi, another of my favorite Hot Wheels, up against Hoverstorm. 3, 2, 1. Quambi. Mad Splash up against Shark Cruiser. I believe that was Mad Splash coming from behind. Baseline up against Duck and Roll. Duck and Roll. Rocket Box up against Hypertruck. 3, 2, 1. Hypertruck. Desert Drifter up against Power Rocket. Power Rocket. Rifted up against Fig Rig. Rifted barely by the bumper. This is Mad Manga up against Kai Swipe. I believe that was Kai Swipe. RDO 6 up against Solid Muscle. RDO 6. Clear Speeder up against the GT Hunter. The GT Hunter. Eggshell Racer up against Flippin' Fast. Eggshell Racer. Besides the classic Bone Shaker, which was released in 2006, 20 years ago. Happy anniversary. Even though he was released in April, I believe. Anyway, happy anniversary. Bone Shaker. Very related. But anyway, the most other classic Hot Wheel besides Diora, Bone Shaker, and possibly, I can't remember his name. I think Donut Drifter, one of the most recent classics now, is Twin Mill. Twin Mill was released, I believe, in '69. I don't know, but anyway, it's Twin Mill, the Breslin one, where it says either 68 Hot Wheels challenge accepted, I believe. Anyway, stop yapping. It's Twin Mill up against Eric Steinrod. Eric Steinrod beats one of the most classic Hot Wheels of all time. Fast Gassin up against Rip Rod. Fast Gassin. The Zerd Drifter up against Pixel Shaker. Also, fun fact about Pixel Shaker, my friend owns 2 of them. He tried to steal one. He tried to steal this one this morning. Anyway, 3, 2, 1. Pixel Shaker. Let's go. Well, another car from my childhood is Head Starter up against Run and Rig. Run and Rig and my childhood one is eliminated, and then that means Run and Rig is moving on. Yeah, another one of my favorites, the Governor up against Rink Racer. If you did not know why he's called Rink Racer, it's because he's supposed to represent a Zamboni. Also because I play hockey. But anyway, 3, 2, 1. The Governor. Rink Racer is out, and the Governor is moving on. So the next up, a classic Hot Wheel I used to race all the time, Dragon Wagon, up against Nerf Hammer. Nerf Hammer wins, and Dragon Wagon's out. Nerf Hammer's moving on, and then next up is Super Steiner up against Hot Wings. Hot Wings is another one of my favorites. Super Steiner is moving on, and that means, sadly, Hot Wings is eliminated. And then finally we got La Troca up against Road Bandit. La Troca's moving on, and Road Bandit is eliminated. Alright, these are the cars that survived round 1 of the Hot Wheels 58th Anniversary Tournament. We will be shortening that to the 58th Anniversary Tournament. Round 1 winners, on to round 2. Bone Shaker against Supercharger. I believe that was Bone Shaker. Teed off 2 up against Street Shrieker. Street Shrieker, and he gets denied. Denied again. There we go. Alrighty, Sushi Turner up against Small Block. Small Block for the win. Dior 2 up against Barbie Dream Camper. The Barbie Dream Camper somehow. Twin Tags up against Turbine Time. Turbine Time, barely. So, Twin Tags is moving on. Also, not notice it says Racing TV. Also, I just want to let you guys know, there is one Hot Wheel I would barely ever race, and he is yet to ever race for a little while. So, if you do not know that when I had my birthday, I had the Formula 1 car with the thinnest axles you have ever seen. Well, you see, I also got one of those tracks where it has the loops and the quick boosters. Well, his axles bent. So, as you can see here, we have, Baby Bomber? Yeah, Baby Bomber, the Fiesta, the Fiat Beast, and Old 3. What do these guys have in common? If you guess that they have thin axles straight out in the wide open, you'll be correct. So I made a rule that if I ever get a thin axle car, they will never race on that. So, no, I would never race them. I'm trying to figure out if I want to or not. But still, that's why. Sorry for all this extra info. Anyway, we're continuing. 8 Crate up against Drift Ender. 8 crate going back. Diesel Boy up against Driftbox. 3, 2, 1. Driftbox. And Diesel Boy is eliminated. Dior 3 up against Monoposto. 3, 2, 1. Monoposto. Extreme up against Solar Reflex. Solar Reflex. Flathead Fury up against the Toon Batmobile. The Toon Batmobile is moving on. Quambi up against Mad Splash. Mad Splash. Duck and Roll up against Hypertruck. 3, 2, 1. Hypertruck. Power Rock up against Rifted. Rifted. Kai Swap up against the RDO 6. RDO 6. GT Hunter up against Eggshell Racer. Eggshell Racer barely by the tip of his bumper. Eric Steinrod up against Fast Gassin. Redo. Fast Gassin got caught onto the blanket. 3, 2, 1. Still didn't matter, but anyway, Eric Steinrod is moving on. Run and Rig up against Pixel Shaker. Pixel Shaker getting a huge boost and is moving on. The Governor up against Nerf Hammer. Nerf Hammer. Had to put my boy right here. And since we will have an uneven number, Super Stainer and La Troca is getting an automatic pass. So these are the survivors from Bone Shaker to Pixel Shaker. Survived round 2 onto round 3. Then I think 4. Then either 5 or semifinals. Then finals, and we'll see who is the winner of the 58th Anniversary Tournament. Bone Shaker up against Street Shrieker. Bone Shaker. Small Block up against the Dream Camper. 3, 2, 1. Small Block coming in close and is moving on. The Dream Camper is eliminated. 8 crate up against Driftbox. 8 crate coming in behind. And Monopost up against Solar Reflect. Solar Reflect is moving on. Monoposto eliminated. The Toon Batmobile up against Mad Splash. Mad Splash. Well, he's pretty much brand new. Mad Splash. Then Hypertruck up against Rifted. Hypertruck is eliminated. Alright, RDO 6 up against Eggshell Racer. Eggshell Racer and RDO 6 eliminated. 2, 4, 6. So this would be our 8th, and then yet again, uneven number. Pixel Shaker against Eric Steinrod. And then these guys get an automatic pass. So these are the guys that survived round 3. Now we have round 4. Then I believe semifinals, then finals. Bone Shaker against Small Block. Bone Shaker. I'm really not being biased. I'm really being for sure. It is Bone Shaker. Small Block is eliminated. 8 crate up against Solar Reflect. Solar Reflect. That looks like he was caught there. So let's do a redo. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, so 8 crate is moving on. Okay, Solar Reflect is eliminated. Mad Splash up against Rifted. Mad Splash coming from behind. Yet again, we'll have an uneven amount of number, which will lead to 6. So let's bring back Rifted, I believe. That was who he was. So that was short round 5. So this is the semifinals for these 3 groups. These guys just kept on getting passes since the second, I believe. So it's 8 crate, Bone Shaker, Mad Splash, Rifted, Eggshell Racer, Eric Steinrod, Super Steiner, and La Troca. So 8 crate and Bone Shaker. I believe that was Bone Shaker. Let's do a redo just in case. Yeah, it was Bone Shaker. Mad Splash up against Rifted. Mad Splash and Rifted eliminated. Eggshell Racer up against Eric Steinrod. Eggshell Racer. Okay. Eric Steinrod eliminated. Then finally, La Troca up against Super Steiner. La Troca is moving on, and Super Steiner eliminated. So these are our final 4 out of quote quote 58 vehicles. I don't know. I was just in a rush to get this done. Mad Splash, Bone Shaker, Eggshell Racer, and La Troca. Okay. First up, Mad Splash and Bone Shaker. Mad Splash. Just getting there. Sadly, one of the greats is now eliminated. And who will be joining him? La Troca or Eggshell Racer? 3, 2, 1. Eggshell Racer! You know, I have to put them right there. Alrighty. It comes down to Eggshell Racer up against one of the most recent cars, Mad Splash, from my friend. So, who will it be? Eggshell Racer up against Mad Splash. Who will it be? Yes, there will be lane swaps and there will be points. First round. Eggshell Racer. Round 2. And congratulations to Eggshell Racer for being the winner of the 58th Anniversary Tournament. Also, Zombot was our last winner. Just before, heads up that this might be out before his win. So Zombot was our winner from last time. So now it's Eggshell Racer who is our winner, and now he will be entering the Big 32 competition Season 2. Also, the big truck has Shoebox in it since he was the clear winner from last time. So congratulations, Eggshell Racer. Remember, keep on racing and have a good one.